This the lineup for the men's lightweight single sculls. Well, we've just had one gold medal achieved by Marit van Eupen for Holland. I wonder whether another medal or even a gold one might come their way in the lightweight men's single sculls. It's this man who has the responsibilities, Gerard van der Linden from the Nereus club, who was 5th last year in the World Championships. Pien Pislaar from Slovenia, from Koper, up near Trieste in lane number 2. Juan Zunzegi for Spain from Vigo. And then in lane 4, Zach Purchas of Great Britain.
And we go across to Elias Papas, a partner in the double sculls last year. Now he's taken over from Vasilios Polymeros, who was world champion this time in Gifu. And the last lane, lane 6, Duncan Grant of New Zealand. Poised on the start, ready to go.
So New Zealand, closest to you, then Papas, then Zach Purchas, just 20 years of age, from Tewkesbury, a member of Marlow Rowing Club, the silver medalist last year behind Polymeros. These are the 6 men out of 18 who came here in hope of a gold medal.
Now they're calling them over, and Purchas comes forward to take his stroke. He was looking very relaxed before. He knew there was a delay. Legs apart so he can get his trunk in between and breathe deeply. Very, very natural sculler. So young and so well coordinated.
Good start.
It was Elias Papas who got off quickest then, and is really zapping up the rate, trying to get his early lead. But Purchas going with him, and Grant on the near side, also in lane 6. But very close to the boys, Grant is. He's slung across towards the boys on his left scull. If he's got to watch his left scull, or he's going to smack one. And he's slipping back already. He may have hit one out of picture because he's dropped right out of sight.
Well, that's right at the top of the regatta course. And meanwhile, it is Papas from Zach Purchas and the Spaniard Juan Zunzunegui, who's pretty tough and has also got quite a lot of pedigree. Purchas beat the Spaniard into 3rd place in Lucerne.
Purchas missed the early part of the season with a wrist injury, and it doesn't seem to have done him any harm at all. He's absolutely confident. There's Elias Papas, as I said, out of the double scull last year, and he's taken over from Vasilios Polymeros, and this is an opportunity for a bit of Latin. Quid est timeo danios et dona ferentes, which means I fear the Greeks even when they bring presents. At the moment he's actually giving the opposite of present. He's giving everybody a bit of a lesson in the
art of single sculling.
In the art of single sculling, and in taking an early lead in this thing. But look also for Juan Zunzunegui Guimarães from Spain over in lane 3. He's in the yellow and red, and but he's working at it. And you do feel suspicious when you see somebody working that hard, that anxiously. And the last time we saw somebody lead a race sculling like that was Marcel Hacker, and it all came apart against Drysdale, the reigning world champion, in the semi-final 2 days ago.
Well, we're going to find out very shortly whether Team Hacker have put their man back together again. But Zach Purchas, I think that he's the man they all know can be extremely dangerous in this middle 1,000. You can see Zunzunegui has a little look across there to Zach Purchas and to Papas. That's the bow of Zach Purchas's lightweight single scull. All of these men weighing inside 72.5 kilos for this final. And it's a while since Great Britain won this. You've got to go back to the days of 1993, 94, 95, since Peter Haining was the champion for Great Britain. And he was, well, if I say in an understatement, an extraordinary gentleman.
He is an extraordinary gentleman, and he's here, but he's now talking about canoeing. He can't sit still. But he's actually coach at Oxford Brookes, and one of the most successful units. Now here we're beginning to see Purchas beginning to move on these two. As I said, I think that Guimarães is a fast sculler, but it's done with a great deal of anxiety and pressure and effort. And Purchas looks much the smoother, much the simpler mover. It's a terribly refined movement, which is extraordinary in somebody 20 years old, that he can just put it together so swiftly and so easily as that. And he's moving it would appear, it doesn't effortless, but it would appear effortless, and that's the mark of a champion. He makes it look easy as both Pappas and Guimarães are being squeezed out, and this is in a matter of 20 strokes. He's come back from bow ball on their stern to level bow ball right the way across those three scullers, and actually he moved through. That was wrong. Great Britain was at 1,000 metres first and Spain second, unless the marker across the course, because absolutely on the screen marker, Purchase was through the 1,000 first. He moved before the 1,000, 800, 900, 850, 900 metres, made his move, and that's it.
Robin Williams, who's taken over as the lightweight supremo, he's got a really promising squad.
He's got 3 boats in finals. He's got the Cox's 4, the double sculls, and Zach Purchase. Zach is law unto himself in that sense, yes, it's a team effort, and yes, he's very well looked after by the overall team, but individualists are individualists, and they don't really obey team rules. The 4 and the double are team products, and need to be the praise needs to be heaped on for getting 2 boats into finals where we were really struggling.
Now, what interests me is to see whether New Zealand's Duncan Grant, after that awful start, can actually get himself into this race. He did move up into 4th place with a 1:43.54 for the second quarter, but that still leaves him a second and a half down on his Pappas, who is the man who's immediately in front of him. Purchase, though, looking supreme at the moment, and the others are scrapping for bits.
36 strokes per minute, a length up on the field, 20 years old and cruising. It looks fabulous. Let's hope he's not kidding us all, but there he is, the bouncy castle in the background. He's got 750 metres to go, and he's in great shape. And it's Guimarães really hanging on in there and fighting for it, scrapping for it. 500 metres to go.
Duncan Grant.
Grant is back on frame, yep. And he's taken Pappas. Well done him.
Yep.
We didn't see what happened in that first 500. I said he was close to the lane markers. He might have caught a crab. I didn't know, but he's definitely back in picture now and still close to his lane markers.
Yeah, and he might, go after, well, he's going after Guimarães, but I think that's too big an order, because he's put in an enormous effort to pull back. It's his effort of 1:44, and the Greek Pappas really having a hard time in the third quarter, 1:47. So now it's the fight for gold and silver, and it's Zach Purchase, and now just coming straight off a little bit of a line, the Spaniard, as he comes under pressure. But Zach Purchase, he's got the momentum as they hit the 250-metre mark.
37, and he's holding him off. He's looking across Purchase, keeping Guimarães in sight, in focus, and just squeezing on a bit more. He has got a beautiful style. It's so well coordinated that as he puts the blades in, the boat begins to move forward and he spins it away. It is really hard to race against somebody whose body is so efficient in boat moving as that. Purchase looking absolutely supreme. Can this man, I mean, he could take this event for 10 years if he wanted, but he'll want an Olympic place in a double scull next year.
The first time the Rowing World Championships came to Great Britain were in 1975, then in 1986, 20 years ago. And Zach Purchase in 2006 is going to give Great Britain its first Rowing World Championship gold on finals morning here in Great Britain, as he comes to the line to take the championship of the men's lightweight single sculls at the age of 20. Purchase takes the gold. Zunzunegui takes the silver, and Duncan Grant, a brilliant recovery to take bronze for New Zealand, ahead of Bean Pesler of Slovenia, and then Gerard van der Linden and Pappas to come home as well.